Cash in on the NFL Conference Championship Games with our best bets. That's right. It's our top 10 picks for the ATS player props and anytime touchdown markets next on the IBT podcast.
I've been going dummy, out of bounds, putting on a clinic. Stick around, carrots in my hardware. KC, caught him in the crosshair. Look at me, been the guy calling Mr. MVP. Keep your ass on the bench by my MPC. Earn my stripes like I fix this league. Your dog's on the turf, my dog's in the street. You can find me somewhere in between. Never a dull moment like a movie scene. About to do the ops like I did this beat. Let them keep talking RG3. Coming to you live. This is the In Between Fantasy Football Podcast.
All right, and welcome into the In Between Fantasy Football Podcast, your place for both a refreshing and feel-good take on fantasy football and NFL gambling. It's the final weekend of the NFL season where we'll have multiple games on the slate, which means multiple opportunities to cash in. Once again, we'll get you set for the occasion with our top 10 picks and predictions, and we'll jump into our PropDecks lineups as well. I'm your host, Seth Wilcock, joined by Boston's boy himself, Steve Lawson. Steven, you've been quite hot in the gambling street so far in the playoffs. Are you ready to keep it rolling here? And are you ready for the winter storm as the weekend approaches?
Ready for the NFL playoffs, not ready for the winter storm whatsoever. Not looking forward to that. I actually have to go doomsday prep tonight to get ready because God knows I don't want to face the mob that's going to show up at the supermarket in the next day or two.
Right, yeah, it's common. Toilet paper's going off the shelf.
Oh my God.
Better be making sure you're stocking up. One item you're stocking up on, Steve, that you just hey, if S hits the H, I'm prepared and I have this item.
Extra toasty Cheez-Its.
Yes, thank you. I think we had a bond about the extra toasty Cheez-Its at the Fantasy Football Expo. You were proud of that purchase, so.
Yeah,
good,
that was great.
Good call on that. Good call on that here. Excited to get into your picks here as well as mine. And as always, shout out to the wonderful folks out there across the internet for tuning in. Please do us a quick favor if you can. Give this video a thumbs up if you enjoy this type of NFL betting content. And subscribe if you're new as well. We're trying to get to 2,000 subscribers by the NFL draft. We can only do that with your help. We'll still have a ton of more betting episodes throughout the offseason. We'll have some early future looks. Of course, we'll have the Super Bowl, and then we're also going to have some NFL Combine and NFL Draft shows as well, which are two of my favorite markets to break down every single year. So also, if you guys want to make sure you're considering it, joining the IBT football family, that's our premium exclusive community where you can get access to our analysts and our viewers. You can chat with everyone. Let us know any questions you have for fantasy, for betting, for college football as well. We also have memorabilia giveaways we do in there for absolutely no cost. And if you want to get access to our full betting cards and touchdown contest, you can upgrade for $3.99 per month or $36 for the year. That also includes unlocking all the benefits to our racing, also our entertainment, and our golf family. A lot of stuff happening over there right now between the Survivor Fantasy League, which is kicking off very soon, the Grammy contest. We right now in the football family also have the wonderful touchdown call contest and the NFL playoff PropDecks contest. So, Steve, a lot happening here right now that everyone can get invested with for $3.99 per month or for free. Just come on in and hang out. A lot of that stuff is for free just because we want for you guys to be a part of this. So we really appreciate that. And let's go ahead and Steve, what do you say we jump right into the bets, my friend? Anything else we should know from your end on the entertainment family side? I know you guys have kind of been the thick of it. Your model coming out here very soon as well for the Rotten Tomatoes over-unders.
Yeah, we're working hard over on the entertainment side for sure. No, just keep tuning in week over week. We're bringing you the best bets, best breakdowns of movies, everything that you want. The entertainment family is growing, and IBT itself is growing in a way that we ain't your uncle's small site here. We're bringing it hard, so I'm hyped.
Yeah, absolutely. It is definitely a labor of love, and I appreciate everyone at the team who helps us make it that. We just did Survivor 50 picks and predictions over on Popcorn Root Beer last night, myself and Rob.
I know. So. Yeah, it was like I had to give my kid up for the first time. I went out as a new parent almost, going out for the first time without the kid. And you guys killed it. You crushed it. I couldn't believe. I was like, like so proud.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's how we do it over here. Let's keep crushing it, though, in between bets and fired up for Conference Championship weekend.
Between bets. Between bets.
Between bets, best bets for the conference championship weekend. And I'm going to fire it up right off the rip here, Steve, with my third best bet. It's Cooper Kupp over 2.5 receptions right now at -140 at FanDuel. I'm going to wait and take a boost on this, right? I'm going to try to see if I can get this closer down to -115. I had a 5-unit boost on Luther Burden over 2.5 receptions last week, and that came through. So I'm going to try the same thing. Also, like, quick aside for anyone who is affiliated with a sports book or like can just float this out there, maybe is more talented than you and I on this aspect, but like, can we have a filter on all sports books where like, I don't even want to see your boost for NBA. I'm not betting NBA. Like, I don't want to see your boost for tennis.
Yeah.
I'm not like, just give me like, I want your motorsports boost. I want your all sports boost. I want your football boost, and I want your golf boost. And that's pretty much it. You know what I mean? That's pretty much the markets and your entertainment boost. If there's entertainment markets available, that's really all I'm interested in betting, which is, I guess, why we covered those sports, Steve, but a little bit of idea there for the fine people out there. My thing here for Cooper Kupp, though, like, insert the revenge game narrative. Once again, this season against the Rams, Kupp is averaging 5.5 targets, 3 receptions, and 31 yards per game. He's hit this twice. The Rams got destroyed against the slot wide receiver in the wild card round. That was Jalen Coker, 9 for 134 and 1. And Luther Burden, 7 targets last week, did end up getting his 3rd reception, which was that big bet for us, so we cashed that. But, you know, he was still getting a ton of targets, just couldn't come down with some catches. The weather was pretty nasty in that one. Kupp did run the 14th most slot snaps during the regular season at 314 at a 41% slot rate. So he's going to be in the slot where the Rams are most vulnerable. He also averages 3.3 first read targets, which those were generally your higher completion throws, right? So he has a good shot of getting those right off the rip, where we don't need a downfield target or, a backyard BS play from Sam Darnold to make it happen with Kupp here. The Seahawks, they didn't really have to throw last week, but with San Fran making Sam Darnold beat them with someone other than JSN, he was looking Kupp's way quite a bit. Team high 5 targets, 5 receptions, 60 yards. This is a guy who he's been there and done that, right? In Cooper Kupp, Steve, that when the game is on the line, you do want the ball in his hand because he's a Super Bowl MVP and he's not that far washed. So this is why you bring him in, is for the playoffs, right? To have a second option. You want the ball in JSN's hand. But besides that, you want it in Kupp, baby.
Do you? Like, how the mighty have quite fallen. I mean, a year ago, Kupp 2.5 receptions, like, we'd be laughing all the way to the bank, right? And now it's like he's just dust. And it's kind of like, ashes to ashes, dust to dust on the career of Cooper Kupp at this point.
Dude, these are when the vets step up, though, right? How many times do we see it in the NBA? Like NBA, Al Horford, always like a beast in the playoffs. Kind of thing.
Like, you can kind
Kareem
of
Hunt last year for
you can turn it on in the playoffs as an NBA player. You can't really in the NFL because you just get beaten to death throughout the season. And Kupp, like, I mean, you talk like the revenge narrative, and he's just edged out those like this. Now, I like it if you get the profit boost.
Yeah,
I don't like it
at
otherwise.
Yeah,
you're not. But there's another receiver. I'll tease this. There's another receiver on this team that I'm much more excited about in terms of. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, actually, let's go there then. Let's go ahead and go there. I know we're a little out of order for you, but let's go ahead and fire that up here. What are you seeing? And Steve, you're someone, as you often criticize me for drinking the juice. And, my response usually, you only drink the juice if you lose. But you like plus money or close to even money as you can get with most of your plays, especially this one you have coming with another Seahawks wide receiver.
Yeah, Rashid Shaheed, plus 110. Love that number. Always love a good plus number. And I'm always looking for like the ones that make the most sense in that plus money range because I don't like drinking juice. It drives me crazy. So the only juice I like to drink is orange. And the Rams are 28th against wide receivers over the last 4 weeks. And looking specifically at speedsters, which is what Rashid Shaheed is, Jameson Williams went for 134 yards against the Rams, but this is rushing and receiving, right? So I'm adding in that rushing aspect, which means those end arounds are going to help us out. No Charbonnet, blew out his ACL. And that means there may be more opportunity for Shaheed to catch one of those, get one of those end arounds. They go to him 2 times, 3 times, 4 times even. And if we see him get a couple rushes on top of that, I mean, this dude this dude can hit this on one touch, right? Like it can happen at any time. He's a big play waiting to happen. This defense is so vulnerable that I think that's why I like these plays, because I'm like, it only takes one touch to get there.
I love it. I love this play. I've been looking for a way to get invested with Rashid Shaheed this entire postseason. Actually, last week I was considering him. He was more than 3-1 for an anytime touchdown. I considered him. And then he gets that kickoff for a touchdown, but then that doesn't count for an anytime. So
that's so annoying. That's the worst thing.
I know. I think it should. I think it should.
It's a touchdown. He put 6 points on the board.
Yeah, then get rid of the special teams and the defensive markets if it's that big of a deal. That's kind of how I feel. Yeah,
right.
Same thing there with you. But I do think Shaheed's a guy that, especially with that no Charbonnet, maybe we see him take some backfield reps, right? So I think going with the rushing and receiving mixture is smart there, because like are they really gonna? Who's their third string? Halani? Like, are they really gonna turn to George Halani? Like that's what I'm saying. So and they don't want to just beat on Kenneth Walker if they have Super Bowl aspirations, which they do if they're at this point. So Steve, this is one of my favorite bets I want to say that you've put out this season. Obviously this is an altered line. Do you know what the original line was? Was it probably closer to like 33.5 maybe? For maybe like a -110. I would maybe go that direction. But again,
this is the default that
really? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
well,
this is the original line.
All right. Well, I still like that. So good on you there. Look at me, just always wanted to pay more money to the book.
Yeah.
So always wanted to drink more juice. Let's go ahead. I'm going to shift gears here into the AFC Championship, and I'm going to go with Rhamondre Stevenson over 48.5 rushing yards, -114 at FanDuel. I already have 3.5 units down on this one. I didn't want it to move. The Patriots, in my mind, in this game, Steve, I think they're going to be playing with a lead, right? I think they're going to need to kill some clock on the road. It's a hostile environment out there in the in the city of Denver. So with fumbling issues aside, like Rhamondre Stevenson has been really, really efficient, way more efficient in the playoffs than TreVeyon Henderson. Like, heck, I have a bet, Steve, on Henderson. It was on the Futures episode. I think you saw it, that for him to just have 100 rushing yards in the playoffs, because like I think the Patriots are at least going to play 2 to 3 games, and I think that's going to allow Henderson. Dude, he has 52 and on 21 carries. Like, he's just not been efficient, right? He's getting stuffed. Yeah. You know better than anyone. Rhamondre is averaging 61.5 rushing yards on 13 carries per game this postseason. Really picked up the pace down the stretch here. He's hit his rushing prop in 7 straight games. This total in specifically in 5 of the last 6 as well. So to the surprise of many, myself included, like the Bills were actually the better team running the ball last week with James Cook, with Josh Allen. They went for 183 against Denver. So I think the Broncos defense, while the Patriots will probably also be gassed on defense by the end of this one, just because it is at elevation, I think the Broncos are going to be too, because they have Jarrett Stidham leading that offense. That's going to be a lot of 3 and outs. And I think Drake May, Rhamondre Stevenson and company have the ball for elongated amounts of time here. And like, let's not forget, Steve, like, who has seen Jarrett Stidham more than anyone? Josh McDaniels and the New England Patriots, right? Like they almost turned to this guy for a starter, and then we're like, nope, we're drafting Mac Jones, right? Or what was it, Cam Newton that year? Whatever year it was, they're like, we're going a different direction. So I think if there's any team that Jarrett Stidham does not want to be facing here, it is the New England Patriots, even at home. So I'm going to go with Rhamondre just to kind of chew this game away. And if he can get 48.5 rushing yards, and then if TreVeyon gets 48.5 rushing yards, I cash 2 bets, and I'm only laying 1, baby. Let's go.
Well, there you go. That's a great bet. But I do think this is going to be a game where the Patriots are just pounding the ball down the Broncos' throats all day. I don't know what happened to their run defense last week. That was surprising, to say the least. But this is a team that's probably feeling pretty defeated right now, because their star quarterback just went down. Like, and people can be like, "Oh, you rally." You kind of do that in the regular season. In the playoffs, when you're this close and you're like right Nick on the Foles, edge, yeah, and you're just like, I can't believe that happened. Like, that's so depressing. And you just like there's that heaviness to it. So I think Stevenson's gonna have a big game. I actually really like this game for the Patriots overall because the offense is gonna be out there so much. I know there's this. I was watching like ESPN like Get Up or whatever this morning, and they were like, "Well, this is the first. Jarrett Stidham's the first guy that Sean Payton signed as a free agent, as head coach of the Broncos. So is that like a sign?" I'm like, yeah, that doesn't mean anything. Like that just means he's like, oh, he's a backup. The guy hasn't played one snap like in 2 years.
Yeah,
so
it's been tough.
Like there's coming in cold, and then there's coming in whatever Jarrett Stidham is, like
Ice
absolute
cold.
Yeah, it's not great.
About as cold as the eastern part of the U.S. is going to be this next week.
Be like tomorrow. Yeah, it's 0. It's gonna be great. Can't wait.
Yeah, no, I like it a lot with Rhamondre. And keep us in this backfield, actually, with your next bet, because I know you're also on a few different Patriots bets, including TreVeyon Henderson.
Yeah, I do. This season, I've actually helped my over-under betting with, I've supplemented it, is the word I was looking for, with these rushing receiving props. I really like them. I like when I can get like that 2 for 1.
Those quite a bit. Yeah.
They're fun because then I'm like rooting for them in all fast. You know what I mean? Because there's nothing more frustrating when you're like, they have 40 yards rushing, but then they catch like a pass and take it 50 yards. And you're like, oh, what the F? And so like, you have to kind of deal with that. So I'm like, you know what? I'm going to do away with that. And so TreVeyon Henderson over 45 rushing and receiving yards. Again, I think this is a very good secondary still. They have a weak spot, and I'll talk about that in a second. But this is a good secondary that's probably going to – you don't want to throw a lot on them because their pass rush is good. You don't want to get Drake May hurt. There's going to be probably no reason to
get the ball out
Drake
quick.
May hurt. So it's just get the ball out quick, hand the ball off. I think this will be a war of attrition. I mean, TreVeyon Henderson had 21 carries for 52 yards. You know what I mean? Like, is it pretty? No. Will it get me there? Absolutely.
But he's the player who can hit it on one play too. That's why I also actually love this number too. I mean, how many times did we see it, especially down the stretch in the CFP just a little over a year ago?
Right. And so since week 8, he's hit this 9 out of 11 times. So in a game where the offense might be out there a lot, I expect a heavy dose of both Stevenson and Henderson. So fire them both up.
Nice. Like it a lot, man. And let's go ahead and keep and stay in this game here. I'm just going to take the Patriots, right? I'm just going to do the smart thing, and I'm going to take them at 4.5. I got this at -115 at Caesars. Look, it made me money last week. I just hammered the money line. I probably should have taken the Texans or the Patriots against the spread instead, but I just said, hey, I don't think the Texans are going to be able to run the ball at all. I should have taken all the Woody Marks props, because when Milton Williams and this entire defensive front has been largely healthy, Steve, you can't run the ball on the Patriots. You really can't, man. They are tied for a league's best 13-5-1 ATS this season, 72.2% clip, 7-1 ATS this season on the road as well, covered in 5 straight games. And again, like I just think like this is not the team Jarrett Stidham wants to go against, a team that knows him. And I would have picked the Patriots straight up, even with Bo Nix in this game on the road. So I just think that 5-ish points, 4.5 points, it's not enough to account for Bo Nix. I've heard other people out there saying it's too much for Bo Nix, but dude, Bo Nix is like a top 12 quarterback in the NFL. You're going to a guy, like you said, Steve, who has not played a lot, is known by their team. And keep in mind, like your Pats, man, they've been so dang good. Like they have only lost against the spread 1 game, and that was to the Bills since September 21st. So I'm going to go ahead, instead of just taking the money line, drinking the juice on this one. Yeah, just give me a little -4.5 ticket on the Pats.
Yeah, this Patriots team, I mean, it's crazy. I mean, considering they kind of buffed their first pick this year in the draft, like this team is
You were heated after the draft. You were down on the team as a whole.
Yeah, I was, because I was furious that we didn't put more weapons around Drake May. But I guess when Josh McDaniels is your coordinator, doesn't matter what you have for weapons, because Tom Brady made a whole career out of like it.
He is such a solid coordinator, and like the best thing about him,
coordinator in the
he's
world.
Never going anywhere.
He'll never get another head coaching job because he's a disaster. Like he's clearly this man has maybe like the biggest personality like flaw in the NFL. Like he's unlikable, is what I'm gathering. Like he
coaches not a dang good offense.
But man, can he put an offense together? It's crazy how good his offenses are. And it's almost like the worse the weapons around that he has to work with, the better. He just operates at a different level in that way, because he gets real creative. But I like this. I think this is going to be actually kind of a smoke show. I would take this spread up to like 6.5. Yeah, maybe 7 even. But I'll move to my bet since you've cued me that way. Kayshon Boutte, over 40 receiving yards. It's a theme with me this week. I like the guys who can do it in one touch.
Yeah.
And if there's a guy who's going to do it in one touch on the Patriots, it's Kayshon Boutte. Plus, look what he did to Derek Stingley last week. That was nice. So I think Drake May will reward him for that. So I think this could really go his way. Denver's allowing 100 yards a game to wide receivers over the last 4 weeks, though. 3 out of 5 weeks, Boutte did have over 50 air yards, just air yards. He's getting there.
Oh, wow.
So it's frequently happened, like in play. So he's a big play threat. It's usually downfield. I like that a lot. In Denver, I know that Surtain's probably going to find Diggs a lot, which means Boutte is going to have Riley Moss, who is the king of pass interference or just duffing it on deep balls. So I'm going to take that opportunity. I'm pretty confident in this one. I had it as my third best bet because I wasn't the most confident.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Okay. All right. I like it too, honestly, dude. This is probably my favorite betting card you've put together this entire season, strictly because I think when you have 2 games like this, you can really lock in a bit more, right? Like you can really kind of find those tendencies a little bit. And Boutte, he's done this twice in the postseason. Like I'm definitely trusting him in this one. If I'm trusting a New England pass catcher, I've tried to trust Hunter Henry a few different times. Went back to the Toxic X again in my PropDecks lineup lately, and I'm doing it again, and you'll see here soon. But so I'm here with you. Love the call on Boutte there. Great best bets this week for all of us. And let's go ahead and now turn the page to our anytime touchdown call contest, of course, presented by our friends over there at PropDecks. If you guys are doing fantasy leagues, March Madness bracket pulls, anything like that, fantasy NASCAR leagues, I highly recommend getting invested over there with our friends at Dynasty Decks. They do a great job where you get a memorialized plaque every single year, customized records, wins, team, that type of stuff, all the information you want on there so you can really remember your team, remember that run you had, and you get it right there. So it's a great product. Make sure you guys are checking them out. As far as the anytime touchdown call contest leaderboard, it's a blowout here, Steve. I'd say it's looking like Indiana down the stretch here. 34 to Trav. I was on his heels. I was at 27. I remain at 27 coming into the playoffs. I've had 2 straight weeks of donuts here, so I'm still in second somehow. No one's caught me. Rob at 26, James at 26. Steve, it was one of those weeks where you either had Kyren Williams and you got 2 anytime touchdowns, or you had someone else and nobody got it. Like that's really because honestly, most of the popular touchdown scores did not score last week. It was a lot of, kind of jags and one-offs. Eric now on the left side of the board at 22, Trash at 21, Steve all the way down at 21 as well, and in 7th place. And you're desperately falling behind with Ben and Jake Perry also in 8th and 9th, only 2 behind you. Steve, you got to pick it up here. You were looking a month ago that you had a shot at the title, and now you're just trying not to get relegated.
Yeah, I know. I hit a cold patch here. I hit a Jake Perry kind of cold patch right at the end of the season here. It's not great.
Yes, absolutely. Guys, we'll keep doing the anytime touchdown call contest next year as well over there in the IBT football family. Just one of the very fun contests we have over there. Steve, I'm going to throw it over to you first, man. Where are you going with your first anytime touchdown call? And let's start in the NFC Championship game.
Okay, well, I'll stay there for both of mine then.
Okay.
I'll do Kenneth Walker because the vulture is down. Vulture down.
Point. I didn't think about that, dude.
Vulture's down. So
I was wondering why it was minus 150, to be honest with you.
Yeah. So I'm like, unlike my usual betting card, I'm like, touchdown calls, I get to have 1 negative, and I don't care how much juice you have to drink on it. So I'm like, all right, no Charbonnet. I wonder how many touchdowns he's poached over the last multiple years from Kenneth Walker. It's been a lot. It's been ugly. So I think where Walker was frequently getting them to the doorstep, and then Charbonnet was just falling over the threshold. Now it's Walker's turn to actually get to stumble into the end zone once or twice. And I think he will. I think this will be a heavy dose of Kenneth Walker, both in the pass game and the run game. I think it's going to be just a big game for him overall, where he tries to establish himself as hey, listen, Zach Charbonnet just needs to go. Like this is no longer like the committee backfield. Like he's like I'm the king. Like move aside. But on the other side, I am also going to I'm going to try to get in on the fun with Kyren Williams because
I know I haven't bet him once all season.
Yeah, so I'm like, I don't know if I've even taken him this season, but
I don't think you have. Yeah,
I'm like, all right, let's do it. I don't like Kyren Williams is the problem, right? And sometimes
I don't yeah.
Like I'm just like he's not good. Like that's my issue. Is I'm like this is not a good player. I don't want to trust this player, but it
feels like a lot of juice to drink usually for him. I agree.
And it's like, and I just don't understand why he keeps getting playing time because Blake Corum goes in, and I'm like, this is clearly the better back. And it just doesn't matter.
They're both good in their own way. They're different style running backs, but
I don't like Kyren Williams as like a running back. His prospect in general is just not.
I understand.
But you know what? I can't argue with results, right? So I'm just gonna drink the Kool-Aid, and if I die like those people did in wherever the heck they did, that cult that drank Kool-Aid, and then then fine.
Okay. All right. Well, I like that. Steve, good job on those. I'm going to go ahead and throw out mine now. First, it's JSN. Anytime touchdown. Plus 101, actually. So I just could have
snuck that one in. Like that snuck under the...
Yes, I do actually have two plus money ones, but the fact that it was plus 101, I had to bet it. Half a unit for me. Nothing crazy here. JSN averaging 12.5 targets, 8.5 receptions, 100.5 receiving yards, and a half a touchdown this season when he plays against this Rams team. JSN has scored in 50% of his games this season, including last week where he was seldomly used, right? And plus money value. So like to me, there's a little bit of value that it is plus money when it's pretty much a 50-50, maybe a little bit better shot that he does score than he doesn't. So great stuff there from JSN. Looking forward to that. And Steve, I also have a bet on him to have the most receiving touchdowns in the playoffs right now. He is tied for the most, and I have him at 15-1. And the books are giving me a nice cash out opportunity right now. I'm not going to take it because I think the Seahawks win this game. But yeah, I'm just happy for the ride.
And they're giving you a pretty decent. I don't know. I'd probably take it.
I mean, but if I hit this, it's a 15-1 bet. I have half a unit on it because I could win 8 units back, and they're giving me like a unit profit. It's just not enough for me. Yeah. If it was like 3 or 4 units, we could talk, right? But
sure.
Yeah. So going with JSN, and also if the Patriots get to the Super Bowl, like Kayshon Boutte's probably the only one who could kind of beat me. And then wouldn't that just be a shame? So JSN there for me. And then I'm just going to go Rhamondre as well. He had 6 touchdowns in 3 games ahead of the postseason. And running as efficiently he is right now. And with New England likely playing it conservative, I think when they get inside the red zone, like, hey, again, we don't need to get crazy here. Let's just put points on the board against Denver, who we don't think will be able to against our defense. I like him to fall in the end zone against a team that when they allow running backs to score this season, it's usually those thumpers, right? The Chris Rodriguez's, the Kareem Hunts, the Javantes, the Cam Scadaboos, those types of backs have been the ones to typically find the end zone. So Rhamondre Stevenson plus 119 at Caesars for me. Let's go ahead and get to our prop deck lineups this week. Steve, what do you have on the prop deck side of things?
All right. So I went with, is this mine up on the screen right now? Look at
this is yours. Yes, sir.
Show me. Matt Stafford. I'm banking big on Stafford, baby. Like I'm going big yards, 228.5, 1.5 touchdowns, high completion numbers. I'm really the strategy with PropDecks, I think, and the reason why I'm number 1 in the PropDecks tourney right now is because it's go big. You know what I mean? Because I only have to hit like 2 or 3 of them, and I like blow everyone away because I'm putting up all these points. And everyone's like, oh, I'm going to be conservative here, I'm going to be conservative there. No reason to do that. Kenneth Walker, I think they're just going to feed him like crazy. 16.5 carries, 80.5 yards, 2.5 receptions. I could see 25, 30 touches easy this game going toward Kenneth Walker. JSN, I'm right there with you. I'm riding. 100.5 yards, 5.5 receptions, and a half a touchdown. Give me that. That's my big boy point scorer this week. That's 45 points.
Nice.
That I'm like kind of sticking on JSN's shoulders. I am going to the Toxic X Hunter Henry, but I'm doing it in like I don't have a date to this like dance, and I have no better options. I've called everyone in my Rolodex and no one answered. And so whatever, you can just come tonight. 34.5 yards, 2.5 receptions. It's just like, Everyone else is an absolute grenade, and I don't feel like falling on it. And then I'm going to go with Puka. 93.5 receiving yards, 6.5 catches, and a touchdown, going for 44 points, just behind JSN. I'm gonna ride the NFC, it seems like, to some points here. I think this is gonna be a real shootout between those two teams. They've seen each other enough that they know each other's tendencies well, and I think that bodes better for two offensive-minded guys as their like primary coaches. So I think this is going to be a plus matchup in those regards.
Okay, Steve continuing to tear it up on the prop deck circuit. I'll go ahead and get to my lineup now as well. And Steve, I'm going to play conservative. And honestly, though, I think you are maybe starting to figure it out where you do need to go a bit aggressive, because if you go aggressive in prop decks and you hit on one or two players, right, like it kind of make your whole week, wow, I have to hit on pretty much all my players to get that type of value in return. But I'm still going to try it one more week, and then maybe we'll change up strategies for a little long shot Super Bowl action. I'll just be parlaying legs at
legs. Just throwing the biggest bets you can.
Played a little catch up there. So I'm going Sam Darnold, passing yards, 187.5 for 10 points, passing touchdowns, 1.5. 24.7. He's my big dog in this one. Rushing yards for Rhamondre Stevenson, same as I took it at the prop, 48.5, 15.5 points. Cooper Kupp, 2.5 receptions, 13.4 points. That will get me. Hunter Henry going back again to the well, baby. Going on that 2.5 reception line, 10.3 points. And then the flex, JSN for the anytime touchdown for 15.6 points. And Steve, since I skipped it at the top here, is the updated standings for you for the PropDecks tournament. It is Steve with the commanding over 45, almost 50-point lead pretty much heading down in here to the stretch for Steve. And then it is our guy SB Payne Poff, who's coming in at 192. Our friend Timbo Slice Fantasy Football at 184. Jake Perry, 156. Jay Braun, 152. Robbie Vegas, who forgot to set his lineup last week, he said as well, 134. And then we got Sonus, we got Snag, myself, Steve, coming in here at 92. Terrible second week. As you can see, my best week there, 79.
Yeah, that's a rough one.
the only leg I hit, the only bet I hit last week in terms of prop decks was the the Luther Burden over 2.5. That's it. That's the only thing that came through for me. Our buddy Joe Frick still rocking and rolling as well with 87. He's had about 45 per week. And then Ben got blanked in the first week, Steve. He's heating up. He got 86 last week, all in one week. And then Trav finally heating up as well. Hey, you better be scared. Trav's heating up. We know how he is over there on the touchdown call contest, Steve. He might come out of nowhere and get you.
I fear nothing when it comes to like my prop decks lineups. I'm the big dog in this fight. I'm gonna win it, and then we're gonna have to see if if I stick around to IBT, because I have to give that prize back. So and I don't believe in 2 weeks notice.
That is true. We have established that. Steve, always so much fun to chop it up with you, man.
Likewise.
I think we'll have a WWE episode for picks and predictions next week on the entertainment side of things, and a rewatch. Is that correct?
Yeah, we're doing the Royal Rumble next week, and we're doing Constantine, because we're keeping up with Keanu.
Okay.
Keanu Reeves movie, Constantine, rewatch.
Awesome. Looking forward to it, man. Keanu Reeves, always. That's your second Keanu Reeves movie in a row. So
January.
Yeah, good for you on that. Here, IBT Podcast, we'll have an episode come out pre-recorded for next week. Just one episode, of course. There'll be no betting opportunities. And then we'll be back after that for a double dose episode week with the Super Bowl picks and likely some more rookie talk as well. Ton of NASCAR betting content for the futures market. We also have the Clash coming next week as well, the first in-person preseason exhibition race, if you would. Hopping over there with our guy Chris and Elliot coming soon on that one. And a lot of good stuff. PGA season back in swing as well. Jake on the 19th hole, Mike, Ian, all those folks doing a great job. So much goodness happening here on the In Between Fans Football podcast, on In Between Media as an entire entity as well. If you rode along with us this long, please do us a quick favor. Give this video a thumbs up and also subscribe to the channel. Again, fantasy football, NFL betting, college football betting, NASCAR betting, PGA betting, entertainment betting, all to help you cash more and to enjoy the ride along the way as well. Be sure to check out in-betweenmedia.com for some dope written content, in-betweenmedia.com/chat for everything we have going on in there in the football family and all the other families as well. For Steven Lawson, I'm Seth Woolcock. We'll catch you guys next time. Until then, keep it in between.